Hey everyone, it's Drew Bradshaw here, and today we're going to look at adverbs that modify verbs when we are sentence diagramming. Adverbs modify verbs, they describe verbs, and they're diagrammed on a slanted line below the verb it's modifying. Adverbs tell when, they tell where, and they tell how an action is happening. Obviously, you remember that they often end in ly. Another tip that I'll give you is that an adverb modifying a verb only modifies action verbs. They do not modify linking verbs. So let's take a look at this right here. It says, my dog barks loudly. Who or what is it about? It's about dog. What does dog do? Dog barks. What does dog bark? Well, we don't know, so there's not a direct object there. But how does dog bark? Loudly. And then which dog? My dog. So we have an adjective modifier there. And you can see how this is diagrammed right here. Once again, the lines go from the top left to the bottom right, not the other way around. They're at an angle. And you make sure to leave a little space at the beginning before you diagram your modifier. The horses run fast. Who or what is this about? It's about horses. What do? They run. What do they run? Well, we don't know, so there's not a direct object there. How do they run? Oh, fast. Which horses? The horses. So 1A, 1B, and 1C, the sentences are correct, but the diagrams are incorrect, so we have to correct the diagram. So let's look at 1A. Mr. Sanchez sneezes often. Who or what is it about? It's about Mr. Sanchez. What does he do? He sneezes. What does he sneeze? Well, we don't know. How often or how does he sneeze or when does he sneeze? Often. So you can see it's diagrammed incorrectly. They diagrammed it as if it's a direct object. It's not a direct object. It's a modifier. Okay? So let's re-diagram this correctly on the sentence base below. Mr. Sanchez, complete split between my subject and predicate. Here comes my simple predicate, sneezes. And then my modifier, often. 1B, my granny sews well. Who or what is this about? It's about granny. What does she do? She sews. What does she sew? We don't know. We don't know if it's socks. We don't know if it's sweaters. We don't know if it's patches on the old man's jeans. We don't know. So it's just granny sews. How does she sew? Well. Whose granny? My granny. Okay, so we need to diagram this properly on the line. Granny sews, capitalizing my, and then modifying again with well. The last one, the tiny kittens mewed softly. Who or what is it about? It's about kittens. What did they do? They mewed. What did they mew? We don't know. We don't know if it's the ABCs. We don't know if it's anything like that. We just know the simple subject and the simple predicate. So, how big were the kittens? Tiny. Which kittens? The. How did they mew? Softly. And you can see here that they flip-flopped the simple predicate and the modifier. So let's do this correctly. The, tiny, and then softly. Adverbs can be placed anywhere in the sentence. They're not just next to the verb, but they're always diagrammed on a diagonal line below the verb they modify. Sweetly, the bird sang. Who or what is this about? Birds. What did the birds do? They sang. What did they sing? We don't know, so there's no direct object. Which birds? The birds. Now we have sweetly. Sweetly doesn't modify birds, it modifies the song they sang. So it's how they sang right here. So our simple subject is birds. They sang. Which birds? The birds. How did they sing? Sweetly. And notice that sweetly is the beginning of the sentence, and so the S is capitalized in both spots. Two or more adverbs connected by a conjunction and, but, or that modify the same verb are diagrammed on a diagonal line below the verb. They are connected with the horizontal dotted line. So remember that horizontal dotted line from the multiple adjectives? It's the same concept with the multiple adverbs. Jimmy quickly but carefully built a snow fort. Who or what is this about? It's about Jimmy. What did he do? He built. What did he build? He built a fort. So which fort? Snow fort. How many forts? A fort. And then how did he build it? Carefully. How did he build it? Quickly. And we can see our conjunction here. It connects two things of equal grammatical value. Quickly, carefully. So now you can see how this is diagrammed. Jimmy built fort. Jimmy built a fort. Jimmy built a snow fort. Jimmy quickly built a snow fort. Jimmy carefully built a snow fort. Jimmy carefully Jimmy quickly but carefully built a snow fort. For number 2, we have 2A and 2B. The sentences are correct and the diagram frame is correct. We just have to fill in the blanks. So let's first break down the sentence. Dad slurps soup loudly. Who or what is this about? Dad. What does he do? Slurps. What does he slurp? Soup. Now we can have loudly dad, loudly slurps, or loudly soup. Well, loudly is an adverb modifying the action here, so it's modifying the simple predicate. Dad slurps soup loudly. Make sure you do this next one down here by yourself. 3 birds gracefully flew. Ask who or what is about. What they do. Are they doing it to something? How many of the birds are there? And then how did they do the action? 3A, 3B, and 3C require that you fill in the blank exactly, and then also write out your sentences and break them down. So, who or what is this about? Again, we can use the homework to help do the homework. We had one over there that says, Dad slurps. So why don't we do Mom eats? Okay, Mom eats. Well, we need to have a modifier. We can't say the mom. That doesn't make sense. So we can say maybe my mom eats. How does she eat? She eats maybe quickly. So now we have to write our sentence. My mom eats quickly. I have my period, and then I need to make sure to break down my text. Simple subject, simple predicate, modifier, modifier. Go ahead and do these ones by yourself, but remember down here, this dotted line means that you have to use and, but, or on that line because it's a conjunction. 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4D are all correct sentences that you have to diagram correctly after breaking them down. Here are a couple tips. Greedy Gus functions as a simple subject because that's a nickname of his. Queen Quilla would be a simple subject together. So remember, ask who or what is it about, what is who or what doing, or what are they doing it to, and then look for your modifier. I will go ahead and do 4C with you. 7 sneaky spiders silently sucked blood. Who or what is it about? Spiders. What did they do? They sucked. What did they suck? Blood. Okay, how did they do it? Silently. They were sneaky spiders, and there were 7 of them. Okay, my sentence base. Spiders. Split my sentence. Sucked. What did they do? They sucked the blood. That's my direct object. Okay, I have 2 lines coming off of here and 1 line coming off of here. And I go in order that they appear in the sentence. Okay, make sure that you show all of the breaking down of the sentence and that you diagram things correctly. If you have any questions, please reach out to me.